Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today I wanted to talk about a different things. Like, we're not gonna talk about a Zabbix tutorial, we're gonna talk about the power of the open source, because this is the thing which is mentioned very frequently, like open source is good, open source is this and that, but why exactly, and what is the difference between the paid products or open source products, what could be the benefits, advantage, and so on. Probably one of the most obvious and simple reasons why open source is, say hi to the doggo, why open source is one of the best options that you could do is it is very cost efficient. So comparing to some paid products where you have to pay for expensive licenses just to use this software, especially on the stage when you haven't decided like how widely you want to integrate it in your company. Do you really want to stick with this product, and what it's going to be after like 2, 3, 4, or 5 years? What's going to be the price for the license? Will it be needed so much, and what will be the value? So on the other hand, open source is usually absolutely free. Like, you get all the product that currently available with no cost. You don't have purchased any licenses. You just install it on your servers, computers, whatever the product is you're purchasing. I'm not talking only about the Zabbix, and you start using that. So then you can be the owner of your decisions, like work with it 6 months, maybe a year, and see, okay, there is a benefit of this product. We're continue to investing our resources and money into it to get out some benefit. Or, well, let's say we made a mistake. It is not giving us the value that we expected, so we can just drop it off without any expenses. And also, if we talk about some, let's say, service that we provide, and to provide this service we need to have software A, software B, software C, and let's say all of those softwares are paid products, so you have to purchase the licenses for, let's say, multiple years, let's say 5 years, if you want to get a better price. The ownership of this service that you have is getting like much more expensive, because you also have to calculate the price of all those softwares that you need to keep into the price of the service. Flexibility and customization is a great value that you can get out of the product when we're talking about a paid closed code product, softwares, whatever else. We get what we get, and there are no options for us to extend the functionality unless the vendor itself already provided some features that sort of allow us to extend this functionality. But we're not able to edit the code, we're not able to see it, we're not able to work around it. But with open source, you can have full access to the code of the software. You can do modifications, you can do integrations on top of that, or just create a new functionality that is dedicated for your situation, for your environment, for your service provider. Security and stability is also a very important point to talk about. And here, if we take paid products with licensing in one hand and open source in some other, you might think that open source is actually losing in terms of security, stability, and some up-to-date patching cycles and updates. But it's not really correct, because of the collaboration and collaborative community and users of this open source project, the updates are actually coming in very flawlessly. And as soon as this wide list of the community, wide members of the community find some vulnerability, some security issue, some bug, whatever, it gets reported to the vendor fast enough, and vendor can release the patch fix to it, again, in no time. As example, you can also take like Linux or Apache, which is here like for quite a long time, and I don't think that we really need to worry about the security, the updates, patching cycle, and things like that. And another thing is like innovation and collaboration. Whenever we have this closed product with which we don't have much possibilities to play around and do the things, we're sort of limited to what we get. But when we have an open source project where all the code is open to all those creative peoples and users around the world who are using the software, we're often able to see, oh, hey, these guys used our software, used this code and modified it in this way, and now they are able to achieve like this task that we never even thought about. Which of course is bringing the ideas like, okay, so we could potentially add this feature or whatever in the official release, and since it works so well, it could be available for all the product users across the world. And again, absolutely free, no price, open source, open code, go read, change anything as you need. Well, and lastly, the community. I think the community supports bringing this bunch of people together talking about a topic that they're passionate about has been always very close to the open source projects. And this is the place where the new ideas come up, where people are able to share their experience of how they're using the product, what could be the advantages, the benefits, some best practices. Other people are able to learn from this, and this is what brings this value of the community for the project that you are using. And the community itself is also a great value for the vendor itself, because we are able to hear like the voice of our users, of product community, in which direction should we work, how people are satisfied with what is delivered to them. Maybe there should be some slight change of the direction of which the product is growing, and things like that. And if you want to talk about some success stories of the open source, then I guess this is a time when we can talk about Zabbix, the open source monitoring platform, enterprise ready. And I guess at this point of the time, we can say that it is much more than just a simple monitoring platform for your IT infrastructure, because you can put inside any data from your environment, from your business, from your services inside the Zabbix, and let it do all the magic like data calculation, visualization, reporting, triggers, baseline monitoring, anomaly detection, trend prediction, and much, much more. And then on the output, you just receive all the benefits for your services, for your work, using the data that you're providing inside a Zabbix. And Zabbix has been an open source product right from the beginning. So from the first version, it was always free, no cost. You can just go to the Zabbix.com, click the green download button, choose the way how do you want to deploy it, and 10 or 15 minutes, you're good to go to try to deploy your first devices or services for the monitoring. Like the only way how you have a chance to spend the money on a Zabbix if you want to is going with the professional services. So let's say you decided to give it a try, but you want to not start right from the zero. You can purchase the certified training or go straight with a consultancy or technical support, whatever fits your needs. Like this is the only place where you can spend the money. So how can adopting the open source software help your organization? Increased efficiency, reduced cost, and better collaboration between the users and just the community of the software are probably just one of the few benefits that you can get. However, it's important to consider potential challenges, as example, compatibility between some other products that you are using, and be prepared to address them. When evaluating the open source projects, I would definitely suggest to look for indicators of quality, usability, and the community support. Of course, don't forget about compatibility, again, as I told, of things that you already have in your environment, and potential for the future growth. Like, will this software meet the requirements of your company potential growth after a year, 2, or maybe 5? And if we would have to do any conclusion about all that we talked today, we can say that open source software offers numerous advantages, including cost efficiency, flexibility, security, and community support. So by embracing the open source solutions, your organization can enjoy these benefits and much more. So thank you for watching this video, which was again a little bit different from what we used to see in this channel, and me talking about like not the regular how to do something in a Zabbix. Please let me know what you think about it. Leave some sort of comment, click like, subscribe,